A really solid defensive performance for you guys. I know the offense wasn't able to put points on the board, but defensively, what was the biggest key in kind of holding these guys in check and putting your team in a position to win?
It was about, everyone doing their job every play and, taking from what we did in practice to the game. And then the first 3 quarters or 4 quarters, except for the last drive, we did what we did in practice and we put in the game. We nipped a lot of their running stuff in the game. They wanted to really run the ball on us. We didn't allow that except for, the last drive.
Juwuan, Jared with the Daily News again. You and D'Angelo were kind of quiet at BYU last week against a very good BYU offense. Tonight, you guys came out and it seemed like the defensive line as a whole was playing really well. You, D'Angelo, Jeremy, did you guys feel a little bit more pressure to perform tonight or a little bit more juice to try to get things going again for you guys? On that line?
I don't know if you consider it more pressure. It's just we hold ourselves to a higher standard, we consider ourselves one of the top defenses, and when you're not performing or when you have a bad game, you get down on yourself. So you always want to improve every week.
Hey, Juwuan, Jared again with the Daily News. When they made that switch at quarterback, you guys were able to turn them over that first possession. Then they were able to mount that drive to score and go ahead late. What challenges did that present to you guys when they made the quarterback change?
Challenges. We just weren't doing our assignments to the best of our ability when he came in. We knew that this quarterback wasn't going to throw the ball. They just brought him in to add another element to their running game to get something going, and we just didn't get the job done.
Juan, talking about that replacement at quarterback, I mean, obviously you guys were shutting down their first guy. What were you guys doing so well protecting the pass tonight?
We were getting pressure. That's something we didn't do last week against BYU. D'Angelo had 2 sacks, had some pressures. Jeremy Darvin had a sack. I think Kyle had a sack as well. And we were very disruptive in the run game, getting knocked back, living on the other side of the line of scrimmage. And when you do that, you get pressure on the quarterback and you get knocked back in the run game, you're successful.
Hey, Juwuan, Jared with the Daily News here. Talking to you guys after the loss of BYU last week, it sounded like the confidence was still there heading into this closing stretch. I guess what's the feel like in the locker room now after this game? Obviously disappointing, but I guess confidence-wise heading into these final 3 games.
Yeah, what you said is exactly. It's kind of, we're kind of disappointed in the locker room, but ultimately you got to wake up the next day, learn from your mistakes, watch the film, and then move on to the next opponent. I think it's Southern Miss. You can't dwell on the past. In the last 3 games, it's 3 opportunities to put your best self on tape. That's how I'm approaching it. I'm pretty sure everyone else is approaching it. So, yeah.
All right. Thank you, Juwuan. This is Jared with the Daily News here. Obviously not the performance the offense wanted tonight. What was it about this FAU defense that made it so tough to find the end zone?
I don't really think they did anything special. I just feel like we didn't capitalize. As receivers, we had some drop balls. I think we could have just finished our drives. We was moving the ball real strong all the way up until we got to like midfield, go past midfield, and then it's like the defense, they were just stopping us when it got time down, crunch time. So we just gotta be better at capitalizing and making our plays, and having longer drives and scoring, getting in the end zone. We didn't get in the end zone.
Mitch, Jared with the Daily News again. You mentioned the drop balls. It seemed like an uncharacteristic number of dropped balls for you guys tonight. Do you owe that to anything? Were the conditions tough out there or anything in particular, or just one of those nights?
It was just one of those nights. I mean, probably, most of us make them catches 10 times out of 10 on any other day. Just lack of focus, probably. I can't really tell you what was going on in the moment. It just, it happened. Not that we had that many, but it was, I think, for us, too many. So.
Mitchell, Matthew Hargrove with the College Heights Herald. Pigram and the offense was really clicking right off the bat, and then the second half things changed. So what was so different from the beginning, and then what was so from the beginning to the second half?
I feel like everybody's energy was the same. I wouldn't say anything was different. We weren't making plays. We weren't capitalizing like we were in the first quarter. The first half. So that's the only thing I can say that was really different. It was really moving the ball in the first half.
Hey, Mitch, Jared with the Daily News. I just asked Juwuan this. Last week after the loss at BYU, it seemed like you guys were pretty confident heading into this final 4-game stretch, with a chance to end with a winning record. I guess obviously disappointed probably, but what's kind of the feel like in the locker room now as you guys have to prepare for these final 3 games? Knowing you're not really where you guys would like to be.
Like Juwuan said, it's a lot of disappointment in the locker room, but we're gonna come back tomorrow, get back to work, get ready for Southern Miss. There's nothing really to talk about. Go over our mistakes, see what we did wrong, see what we could have did better, and, push on. This is just adversity.